Hi guys, it's Jamila here from Slapp. Today I'm going to be doing a video on my favourite products, the best makeup of 2022, and I thought I'd do it by my tree. So I'm going to be sharing with you my favourite products from 2022 in a little roundup called the best luxury makeup of 2022. So first up, I'm going to start with foundation, and I have two favourite foundations this year. There was another one, the Chanel No. 1 de Chanel is a really good foundation, but I haven't got my exact perfect shade. It's just a little bit too light for me, so I don't think it's the perfect one for me. But my two favorite foundations of this year are the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. This kind of was my entryway back into NARS. I used to use NARS all the time and I stopped using them, and this kind of just brought me back to the NARS family. And after this, it was love for the rest of the year. So this is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation in the shade Macau. My shade, I should have put it on today actually. But it's a fantastic foundation. Really nice, light reflecting, light boosting, glowy but not too glowy. Lovely, lovely product, and a perfect shade match for me. So rare to find the ultimate perfect shade. And NARS are really, really good at creating shades for all skin tones in really nice, true to your actual skin tone. Another favorite that kind of came out of nowhere, I wasn't expecting it to be that good, was the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. This is a very full coverage foundation. It's quite full on, but I really like it. Even though it's full coverage, it doesn't feel too full coverage. It doesn't look too full coverage, even though like you can't see anything through it. It doesn't have like a heaviness to it. It doesn't have like a cakiness to it. It's very glowy and natural looking, even though it is like super full coverage. So I think it's a fantastic foundation. I also really like the bottle. It's very chic. Very good. Next up is concealer, and my favorite concealer of the year was the Beautiful Skin concealer from Charlotte Tilbury. Such a fantastic concealer. It gives good coverage. It covers dark circles. It gives glow. It gives hydration. It's really nice. I was actually going to put the dual backstage in because until I tried this, that was my favorite, but I haven't tried it again since. I think in winter I still prefer this, so I felt like I may as well just put my favorite one in. I have this in the shade 15 and 13. I actually tried 14 in the store, and I actually found like the perfect shade, so I don't know why I rebought 15 again. But once I run out of 13 and 15 for the second time, I will get 14 because that's kind of the perfect in between shade. 15 is my skin tone and 13 is my like very highlighty. Very good concealer, the best of the year, hands down. Two great powders, and another one from Charlotte Tilbury and another one from NARS. So I think these were my two favorite brands of this year. Probably NARS was my favorite. This is the NARS Light Reflecting Setting Powder. I got this after I tried the foundation. Apparently this was already out, I think in just one shade or two shades, but they released it in some deeper shades. I got the shade Mesa, which is a really nice golden powder. Really good for deeper skin tones. Not too yellow, not too dull, not too rich, not too cool, just the perfect shade. I think there was one after this as well, which is great. I absolutely love this. I use this every day until I got this one, but I still would hands down buy this one again because it's so good. And I actually really miss loose setting powders because sometimes pressed powders, they get like filmy. These never do, so I do love a loose powder for that, and I love applying a loose powder with my sponge as well. This is such a good loose powder. It goes on really nicely. It sits on the skin really nicely. It looks quite natural, but it does set as well, so I think it's such a good powder. I need to start using it again because it's so good. Next up for powder is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Brightening Powder, and I much prefer this to her Airbrush Flawless Finish, which is a very popular product for a lot of people. This one is my favorite of the two, and I got this in the yellow, I think it's Tan Deep. Really fantastic product, so nice. I actually did a review on this, but the video disappeared. I do still have it, so I might re-upload it at some point. It's really good to kind of brighten under my eyes and in the kind of center of my face. It gives a really nice soft finish and really airbrushes out all of my products as well, usually. Next up is blush, and I have a few favorite blushes. My favorite liquid blush by far was the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blush. It seemed like such a strange thing to call something a tinted moisturizer blush, but it's such a good blusher. It really works well on top of cream products I have. It really works well under powder. I have the shade Sun Drenched, which is quite fair, quite light on me, but it does just enough to actually do something, and it's just a really nice flattering shade for my skin tone. It also comes with a little pipette as well, which makes it easy to control and not use too much product, even though every time I use it I use too much product, but it's a really great product nonetheless. Next up are powder blushes, and I have two favorites. One of my favorites from the beginning of from the moment I tried it was the Hindash palette in the monochrome matte. It's such a fantastic blusher palette, but it's kind of a full face palette. You can use it for your cheeks, you can use it for your eyes, you can even do a bit of contour if you are a medium skin tone. I love this palette so much. I love the blushes of it the most. I love all three. I like using a bit of the purple in the blush as well. I should have used it today. It's such a good product, just such a work of art, and I think it's just the most beautiful thing ever. The only annoying thing about it is that it does get grubby on the outside, but it's so nice, and I love it so much. Another favorite blusher of the year was the NARS limited edition blush palette. This is a blush bronze, the summer unrated blush bronze. This is bringing back good memories of summertime vibes. I feel like I want to put this on. It's so cool. Bronzer is so warm, so nice. The blusher is so metallic, so intense. It's just the best thing. It's so summery. Like, I feel like if I put this on now, I'm gonna look super tan, but it just gives you that kind of hit of sunshine, that hit of warmth, which I could probably do with now because this light is very cool, but this is literally the best thing. I love it so much, especially for summer. So I put on a bit of that bronzer. Another powder blush that I completely forgot about, one of the best blushes, is the Divine Duo Divine Blush from Pat McGrath. This one is so unexpected. This is the shade Night Bloom, and it's very purple, it's very red, it's very intense, and it shouldn't work on my skin tone, but it really does. It just gives it a little pop. It just breaks through all the bronzy softness and the rose goldy copperiness of it all, and it just cuts through with a shot of like violet and red, and it just looks really intense but really cool. I love this so much. I love the packaging. It's so beautifully done, and it also now makes the regular one pan ones look really boring. This one is so jazzy and so fun, and I absolutely love it. So one of my favorite blushes of the year, just for the art of it all, and also for the quality and the color story and the ingeniousness of it all. It definitely was the year of blushes, and I've got one more, even though this isn't just a blusher, but this is a blush and highlight palette from Hourglass. This is a Tiger palette from Hourglass. It took me so long to get my hands on this. The orders kept getting cancelled, they kept getting lost, the couriers kept deciding not to deliver it, and I was like, all I want to do is review this, all I want to do is get my video up, and it took like 4 weeks. Eventually I did get my hands on it. I really wanted it also because I'm the year of the tiger, as I always say, like it's like so important to my life, but I just love it, and it's so good. I think there are the marbled shades I don't really use that much, which is quite ironic because last time I bought one of these palettes from Hourglass, I really wanted to try a marble, but I don't think they're quite rich enough for my skin tone yet. But the orange is awesome. The coppery highlight is really cool and different. This gold one is a great nose bridge, and the bronzer is just a nice chill bronze. So one of the best products I've tried from Hourglass in a very long time, apart from the foundation and some other things I like from them. But this is really good. I was finally happy to try one of their unlocked ambient palettes that would actually work for my skin tone. So hats off to Hourglass for actually getting it right, and actually getting a really good palette for my skin tone. Next up is bronzer, and there was only one cream bronzer this year that was new and that I tried. I didn't quite like at first, but it has grown on me. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin bronzer in the shade 3 Tan. I actually have hit pan on this. Such a good bronzer, very cream. Not really a bronzer, it's just a very slight darkener, but the thing that's great about it is it does smooth my skin, it does airbrush my cheeks, it makes me look smoother, it makes me look more flawless. I love it. It really sits very well under cream blushes as well, which is so important when you are layering up products, and it's nice and big and fat, and the mirror is nice and big and fat as well. The number 4 is even cooler. The number 4 is more of a contour shade, so I think at this time of year that would actually be quite good, but when I tried these in summer I was very disappointed by both of them, to be honest. I felt like they were both not bronzy enough, but in winter they're probably the perfect kind of shades. So if you are looking for like a wintry bronzer, then these could actually be really good. And I think if you are a fairer skin tone, then those types of bronzers are nicer. You probably don't want anything as red, whereas if you are a deeper skin tone in the summer, you do want something a bit more rosy, because that's kind of where your skin tone goes anyway. Next up, another Charlotte Tilbury, the Charlotte Tilbury Multi Glow highlighter. I can't open it because it is completely broken, but this was my favorite highlighter of the year, hands down. But it's smashed. It's so gorgeous. It's 4 different shades of highlight, from like a pearlescent to a rose gold with a gold and a champagne in the middle. It's so good on my skin tone. Really cool. The packaging's very jazzy, very pearlescent, very mother of pearl, but it's just awesome. Such a great product, and everything else that she launched after this highlight wise just didn't really compare to this, because this is the goat. Next up from Pat McGrath is, actually I was going to put in the Mothership 10 in, and I tried to use it today and it just went all wrong, so I decided to actually put in in something else from Pat McGrath that she released, an eyeshadow palette. This is the Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow palette. She came up with 2 shades. This one is Bronze Bliss. Both are cool, but I think the Bronze Bliss is the most interesting. The reason why this is in there is not because it's the best eyeshadow palette that Pat McGrath has ever created, but for the price. They are so cool. The color stories are so cool. There's enough variation. There's enough mattes. There's enough creamies. There's enough like bright, shiny, metallic, awesome shades. And they're just really cool. You can create a really nice look. And I've created a few lovely autumn looks from this that I've really enjoyed. So I think this is a really fantastic product. The other one is really nice too. It's not as original as this one, but this is a very, very cool shade range, and it's got everything you need. A mirror, it's got a great color story, and it's a really, really affordable price if I remember correctly. I think it's like 20 quid, which is fantastic for Pat McGrath. So definitely something worth buying. I don't really see myself hitting pound or something like this very quickly, which is also another reason why it's really good value for money. And just before I get into lips, I've got one eyeliner that was one of my favorite products of this year. This is the Glossier #1 pencil. As we've established from my November favorites, the Pat McGrath eyeliners are my favorite eyeliners of all time, but this is a very good close second, especially as something that was released this year and comes in an array of really fun colors. I got it in a lilac, I got it in a maroon, I got it in a brown, I got it in a black. Very happy with the brown and the black. The lilac was really cool, but like realistically I'm not going to wear it. They're really cool, really good kohl liners that do a really good job of just lining your eye and giving you enough pigment to wear on top of the lid or in the lid as well, especially the pastels, which is really hard to do, to get pastels glidey enough, pigmented enough to actually go on top of your lid. So very fantastic liners from Glossier. And last up I have lips. I had a lot of favorite lipsticks this year, a lot of favorite lip products, starting off the year with what has become since my most popular video ever, which was not expecting, is the Dior New Look Houndstooth collection. These are existing lipsticks from Dior, but they just feel even cooler in the Houndstooth. Also the first time I got to try any of them. The 100 became my favorite nude lipstick of all time. I also tried the 720, the Rose Red, which is really nice, and also the 999, which is the classic red. Really, really nice product as well. Such cool packaging. I think it was limited edition. Who knows what they'll release it in the new year. Maybe something new and exciting, but this is a fantastic lipstick. 100 is my jam. Let's put a little bit on so you can see the magic. It just cuts through everything and makes everything really greige and beige and naughties and fun, and it's just epic. So this is the 100 from Dior. I also discovered one of my favorite lipsticks of the year was the Dior New Forever Matte Black lipstick in 300. It's all black. Even the Dior logo is black. It's all completely black. Number 300, my new favorite lipstick of the year, apart from this one. Those two were probably my favorites. I've got so many favorites. The Dior probably smashed it out the park for me in terms of lips. There were lots of other lip products I tried from them, like the lip tint, the lip gloss, were really, really nice. But the Dior lipsticks for me, the solid lipsticks, were the best that they did in number 300 as well, in that all black matte. Was very cool. My other favorite lipstick of the year was the Lisa Eldridge. This literally launched like a month ago, but it's already become one of my favorite lipsticks. The Lisa Eldridge Velvet Sorcery. Such a fantastic lipstick. It's in her velvet range, which is just really nice. Very creamy, very full coverage, very matte, very hydrating, very long lasting, very good. This one is mauvey goodness at its finest, and as you guys know, I love a good mauve. Also, I love the Generation G from Glossier. I got this in lots of shades. Fuzz and Malt were my favorites, but the red one, I think it was called Classic or Classique, also was a favorite as well. These are kind of like a blotted lipstick, but then they're a bit more drying than the other two, so I think technically you probably want to get the other two. But if you want something sheer, then it's a very good sheer lipstick. Also in the running as one of the best lipsticks of the year is the Say. I don't use it that much, but I really, really like it, especially in the red, which is also called Classique, I think, or is just called Classique. I also have this in the shade Nouveau and Modern as well. One's pinky, one's brown, but they're both kind of nudie shades. Both very good products, and the packaging is probably the best of them all. It's just so sleek, it's just so black, it's just so modern. Very good from Say. Say are one of my favorite brands. They create so many great products. This lipstick is definitely one of the best. And last but not least, in my favorites of the year is the Hermes lip oil in the shade Slash Scent Cola, Rose Cola to be exact, 05 Rose Cola. Such a fantastic product. It is glossy, it is oily, it is hydrating, it's got the perfect shade, but most importantly, it smells of cola. It's just the best thing since sliced bread. Every time I whip it out of my bag, I'm just like, yummy. This is always in my bag because it tastes fruity, it smells fruity. It's just a good time. But yeah, those are my favorite products of the year. Those are the best luxury makeup products of 2022. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below, guys. Will you be buying anything? Will you be trying anything? Did you try anything? Did you buy anything? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you haven't subscribed already, guys, please subscribe. We'd love to have you in the Slapp family. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next year.